Hi, welcome to the first episode of the Offplan Show. We're excited today because we have an absolutely amazing guest today. Now, today we're going to talk about real estate and finance. My next guest here has amazing experience in the real estate industry and finance as well. He has 8 years of experience as a real estate mortgage consultant. He's been in the country for over 15 years. So without further ado, let me introduce my first guest on the Offplan Show, Nikhil.
Hello.
Hi, Nikhil.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Miri. It is a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. And I'm so happy to be here with you on this show.
Thank you. Likewise.
Now, first and foremost, we're getting a lot of requests when people come to Dubai. The number one question is, how can they buy a house? And that always leads to, how can I get a mortgage? So how can UAE residents and also foreigners get a mortgage in Dubai?
Okay. So arranging a mortgage is very easy, I would say. Yeah, especially for UAE residents. We categorize UAE residents into two. One is salaried clients and one is self-employed who are business owners. So for salaried employees, it is very simple. They should be a confirmed employee. That means they should be working in any company for more than 6 months. They should have 6 months of salary, which should be coming in their bank account. And for self-employed, they should be at least having a business for 3 years or more. But what we do is we also arrange for business owners who are having 2 years and plus of business experience. We arrange mortgage for them as well. So it is pretty simple for residents. For non-residents, what we do is we check their 6 months personal bank statement in their country. We check their address proof. We check their credit bureau if their records are good, and accordingly we can arrange a mortgage for them.
Now, I'm happy that you've mentioned that the process is quite simple.
Yeah.
Now, for clients, they always make it like it's not simple because they always come back to what is the mortgage rates at the moment. And I get people who do not want to proceed with a property acquisition journey because they're afraid that the mortgage rate may change in the future, or they just might not be able to, continue with the payment. So what's the mortgage rate right now in 2023 at this current month? And what do you think the rates will be in the, say, next couple of months towards the end of this year or next year in the foreseeable future?
Okay, so with regards to rate, the current mortgage rate for resident clients is at 5%, resident salaried clients, let's say. And for resident self-employed clients, it is currently at 5.5. And for non-residents also, it is currently at 5.5%. But what I feel is it will go up for, let's say, another 0.5% in the near future. But I guess this is where we stand, in between 5 to 6%. And that is it. It won't go more than that, is what we are speculating.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's quite interesting, to see that the mortgage rates maybe might, come a little lower or might change in the future, because that means, absolute good news to the investors. Now, another question that might link directly to the mortgage rates is the banks. Now, we have some people who are not necessarily ready to proceed with certain banks, and they feel like rates from certain banks or the service from certain banks are not good. So the question here is, which banks would you recommend investors to proceed with?
Okay.
Which ones have the best rates?
Correct. Okay. So what we do is we always suggest local banks here because they are the most flexible. So when we say local banks, it is Commercial Bank of Dubai, for example, then Dubai Islamic Bank, then we have Mashreq Bank and Emirates NBD Bank. So let's say these banks are one of the best banks for getting the best rates because they are very competitive. What they do is they keep on adjusting the rates every month. They keep on adjusting the rate. They see how the other banks are performing. And if they see that they are giving any special offers, they try to match that special offer so that they can get good clients as well. So these four banks are actually very competitive, and they are local banks.
Great. So local banks do well. So
Correct, yeah.
what you're saying is the rates are mainly determined by the market. So how one bank behaves can potentially lead to the way another bank behaves, right?
That is correct, yeah.
Good.
Because end of the day, all the banks, they also do business end of the day, right?
Yeah.
So they want the maximum business from the local population here.
Yeah.
So that's why they are competitive as well.
Amazing. This is amazing knowledge. Now, Nikhil, I want to ask you something else.
Yeah.
We've gotten an investor. He just came out, he approached a real estate agent, he wants to proceed, but he finds out that he can't meet the requirements, and it's absolutely disappointing. I don't know if you've experienced this. You go from point A all the way to point Z, and you just find out that this client cannot proceed. So
Correct,
what's
yeah.
the minimum requirement for, you know, an ordinary citizen out there and an investor from abroad to get a mortgage here in the UAE for real estate investment?
Perfect. Okay. So this is where my role comes in very handy. Why? Because, we check the eligibility of the clients right in the beginning. And if the client is eligible, we tell them, okay, we are okay to proceed. And if they are not eligible, then we tell them and we help them, to prepare their financing in a way that in the next 6 months they can get a mortgage. So with regards to the minimum requirement, what happens is, let's start with salaried clients in the UAE, okay? So the minimum requirement for them is they should be working for 6 months in this country in one of the reputed companies. They should be confirmed employees. That is the most important thing, because usually the confirmation comes after 6 months, right? Six salaries have to be posted in their bank account. So the bank statement should show 6 salaries, and it should be all at the same time. It shouldn't be varying from dates to dates. For example, any person who's getting a salary on the second, next month should get a salary on the second, third, or fourth, something like that. Okay, it cannot be that a person is getting salary on the second of, let's say, in Jan, and then in Feb he's getting it on the 18th. March he's getting it on the 24th. This does not work. It has to be consistent. Exactly. So this is for salaried clients. It is very simple. For self-employed clients, what we do is we check their bank financials. We check their company statements. We check their company audit financials, if the company is audited or not. And accordingly, if their company is up and running for two years and above, then we can do their mortgage very easy. So that is like the main requirement for a self-employed person, that the bank statement should be good, as well as the company should be audited with audit financials. And also about non-residents.
Yes.
I guess before, for non-residents, we never had so many inquiries, but now on a monthly basis, I do at least 4 to 5 cases. It's
Russians coming in,
exactly
a lot of foreigners.
a lot of Russians, a lot of Europeans are coming here. So I do at least 4 to 5 cases on a monthly basis. And for me, it has become very easy now to arrange for non-resident clients, because there are many banks who are supporting them as well. So non-residents, we will only check their 6 months personal statement. If their balance is more than 25,000 dirhams approximately, and above 25,000 dirhams, and above, then yes, we can arrange for them. No issues at all.
I'm happy that you mentioned we're getting a lot of foreign investors,
Yeah.
a lot of people from the UK, China, and so on.
Correct.
Now, this leads to an interesting question. In the global perspective, there's a lot of concern about the economy. Do you think that we're entering a recession in the housing sector? Do you think the real estate is approaching a recession or a slowdown in that regard? Is there a bubble? In other words, is there a bubble in the real estate industry in Dubai?
In Dubai, I would say that there is a bubble that is created, but it is created by the sellers, I would say. Why? Because when the sellers see that the market is going up, Yeah, what they tend to do is they tend to start asking prices which sometimes are not realistic and it is not aligned with the market price or the market value, right? So currently, yes, we are in a bubble, I would say, but what banks and valuation companies are doing currently is they are trying to break that bubble and they are trying to get the market value, the selling price and the market value to a consistent level. Why? Because currently what we see is the prices which the sellers are asking is at least 5 to 10% more than the actual market value. So yes, we are in a bubble. A recession, talking about recession, I guess in UAE we will not see recession for the next couple of years, I would say. Why? Because currently the supply and demand in the UAE is absolutely at par with buyer and sellers being available here. So I believe that yes, there is a bubble somehow, but we are getting into this correction phase where the prices are being corrected at least by 5-10%.
Okay, that's it's a interesting way to look at it because you say that the in a way Dubai is recession proof. You know, we're very solid. But
Correct.
from another perspective, you say that the price from the seller might not necessarily meet the buyer's expectation. Yet we're still seeing a lot of investors. So if you look at it carefully, then this could mean that this is the actual price of the real estate, market at the moment.
Yeah. So what's happening currently is buyers are, of course, they are searching for the best, market valued properties,
Yes.
right? Sellers are asking for a price which they see that the other sellers in the building are selling for, because sometimes they also have a group in the building where they communicate with each other. However, what banks and property valuation companies, what they have started doing is they go by per square feet pricing, okay?
Right.
And that's why I believe that they are somewhere seeing that there is a little hype that the sellers have created in the market, and they are just trying to bring it down. So I would say little 5% or 10%, little more than less than 5 or 10% is what the bubble is created, and it is coming down now. Yeah, yeah,
Now, from what you say, for me, if I was taking a step back, I would say then perhaps that could be the actual price of the market at the moment. Because if the sellers are asking higher and we're still getting more, because that means demand is meeting supply. But we'll
correct.
get
Yeah,
into that a little bit more on our next uh, episode, me and you. So this is the first installment. We have the second and the third in the future. Now,
great.
tying up to that, another big question that we get is why don't banks allow mortgages on off-plan properties? We get people getting mortgages for secondary market.
Right.
Why can't we get a mortgage for, say, MR, which is a well-established company? We know it's not going to go bankrupt, right? We know the project is going to be completed when they say they're going to complete the project. So why is it that banks cannot be able to offer a mortgage for an off-plan property to investors?
So offline properties are never guaranteed, okay? And banks, they always want to secure themselves. So what happens is banks will only mortgage a property when they see that the building is ready or the property is ready by 95 or 98%, I would say. That's why they don't, no banks actually in UAE are
Absolutely.
helping with any off-plan projects currently. Yes, we can get pre-approval for our clients who are eligible, let's say. So what we can do is 6 months prior to the handover, we can still get them, a pre-approval. But more than 6 months, no bank will ever give any pre-approval or mortgage on that.
Now, Nikhil, I want to redirect your attention to a whole different topic now. Now, this topic has been taking the industry by storm. This is the cryptocurrency. Okay,
Yeah.
we call it the C word, the crypto. Yeah,
Yeah, correct.
crypto has been in everybody's mouth, everybody's minds, and on everybody's lips. How do you think cryptocurrency will affect the banking system and real estate moving forward? What do you think the interaction will be between the cryptocurrency, central banks, banking system, and real estate?
Right. So cryptocurrency has definitely given a shock to all the banking system, I would say. Why? Because many young players have come up in the market where, they instantly became very rich, very famous,
Very wealthy as well,
and
yes.
very absolutely, yeah, they became very wealthy. Banks actually, many banks still don't support or advocate cryptocurrency so much. However, real estate developers have supported cryptocurrency. So in a way, in UAE, we are very happy that cryptocurrency is accepted here. Yeah.
Right.
But banks are, to be honest, banks are not very happy about it, and still they haven't. They are not supporting crypto at all. So because for banks it is a major threat, that somebody else is coming to take over their system, and they actually don't appreciate that. Yeah.
Do you think banks will become the new channel of cryptocurrency, or how will that, you know, uh, affect the way business is being handled right now in terms of finance?
Um, I believe banks, it is still a long way to go when
Yeah,
banks will start accepting cryptocurrency, I would say, still a long way to go.
yeah.
I don't see it happening in the near future for sure.
There's no right answer at the moment.
Exactly. There's no right answer because we don't know what will happen. But as per the speculations, we know that yes, banks will not accept this. And, crypto will be always independent, let's say.
Yeah.
And all the youngsters who have gotten into it, they are trying to keep the crypto market alive and,
Yeah,
things like that. However, it is good that in UAE, crypto is well accepted,
yeah,
and all the developers are accepting cryptocurrencies to buy properties and sell properties. Yeah, so that's amazing. Yeah.
great. I mean, the more I do research on crypto, the more I find out that at the moment it's still too early, even though the technology has been here for a decade already. It's still too early to be able to give a solid right answer because the market fluctuates, the industry changes every now and then. Anyway, moving forward, thank you for that. We see a lot of people buying properties and they want to increase their portfolio and invest in other projects as well.
Right.
So, what I want to ask you is how can investors access the home equity line of credit, also known as the HELOC? And what is it per se? How do you explain the term HELOC, home equity line of credit, to an investor?
Okay. So this is very interesting because most of the investors in the UAE, they prefer doing this. They prefer getting equity out of their properties. So what we can do is it is basically getting a mortgage from the bank. It is, let's say, in the same lines. However, we call it equity release because banks are giving pure cash or pure money to the clients just to reinvest in another properties in the UAE. Okay, so how it works is your property should be fully paid.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the first criteria, and the title deed should be under your name. So if this is the minimum requirement, if you are okay, if you are set with that, then banks are happy to give you 60% equity on the current market value of your property. You can reinvest that cash or that money to buy another real estate. So that's how investors keep on reinvesting in new and new projects, and they keep on, getting more properties in their portfolio.
And getting wealthier.
Absolutely, yes.
So we like that. We like getting richer. But question that I'm asking is, do you think there's a lot of investors using this strategy in the UAE?
In the UAE, absolutely. There are a lot of investors who are doing this, and people like us, it is our responsibility to educate
Right.
first-time investors or first-time buyers to, take this route. Why? Because see, in UAE, people start with the mortgage tenure of, let's say, 20 to 25 years, 25 years being the maximum. But they
Yeah.
close their mortgage in 5 to 6 or maximum 7 years. This is the life of a mortgage complete cycle, I would say. Okay, it starts from 20, 25 years, but then people overpay on a yearly basis and then they
Yeah.
close it in 6 to 7 years. So when they close the complete mortgage, the property becomes their own, correct?
Yeah.
And then what happens is, let's say if they are interested to buy a second property,
Yeah.
then they just release the equity from this property, they reinvest it in another property,
Property.
and they just have to pay a minimum down payment of 40%, and that's all. They get two properties under their name.
How many times can you do this over and over on one property?
Okay, so it depends on the debt burden ratio of the client.
Correct.
It depends on the income eligibility.
And what is the
However,
debt burden ratio so that viewers can understand?
correct. So what happens is in the UAE, banks will always check what your income is,
Right.
and they will divide the income between two segments. One is for your liabilities, and
Right.
one is for your basic lifestyle.
Correct.
Yeah, so debt burden ratio is calculated that way, just to check how much liability you can take,
Against
so that you can repay.
and what you're getting.
Absolutely, yes, against your assets, so that you can repay it on a monthly basis, and the remaining half is for your lifestyle, and then we do the calculation of their income, their DBR, their lifestyle, and then accordingly we inform the client if they will be eligible to get another mortgage or not, like that. So I would say through one bank, clients are eligible to get mortgage 4 times, 4 mortgages through one bank, and then we can change the bank and take another mortgage from another bank.
Great. Can that be on the same property or regardless?
It can be on different properties, but from one property, we can get only one mortgage.
So the home equity line of credit, you can access it only once per property.
Correct. Only once per property, but let's say if you repay everything
Yeah.
in that property, if you have repaid everything,
Right.
then you can get another mortgage from that same property again.
Right.
Yeah, you can do that.
But also to access mortgage from a bank, you can do so straight from a bank up to 4 times, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Wow, this is absolutely amazing information.
Yeah.
Now, we're coming to the end of the show now. It's been an absolutely amazing session here with Nikhil. But just before we let you go, we want to know, how do we get in touch with you if we want to get real estate mortgage consultancy on how to, get finance? Because a big part of the game, of the real estate game, is money. You got to be able to have access to money. So how do we get in touch with you, and how can we find you? What's your socials? What's your email address? How do we get in touch?
Perfect. Okay. So I prefer meeting clients directly face to face. Yeah. But to get in touch with me, you can just call me on my mobile number or get in touch through email. Now, what I do is we meet the clients, we give them basic consultancy, and we don't charge anything, for that consultation, the first consultation.
Yeah.
So I'm always happy to meet the clients. I prefer going and meeting the clients in their office or their home or their space, wherever they are.
Yeah.
Or they can come to my office in Business Bay. We are located in Clover Bay Tower, and we have a great office setup. So anyone can just come in and walk in and meet me there.
All right. So that's amazing to know that your clients, don't have to pay for anything to get this wealth of knowledge that you possess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any parting shots that you want to tell us before you leave,
Oh,
as we conclude the episode? Give us an amazing quote that
Well-
you've read somewhere,
Okay, so what I would like to say is, UAE is a great market for investors to come and invest here.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I personally believe in Dubai real estate market a lot. So all I can say is, before we leave, that, when you're coming to UAE, I would love to invite everyone to come and visit UAE at least once. come and see the real estate market, how it works. It is very dynamic. It is amazing. The property prices and the ROIs are amazing and interesting here.
Yeah.
And banks are very supportive to give mortgages to the clients here. So, just come down here, meet us, and we'll be happy to assist.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time. It's been an amazing session. Thank you so much. Look forward to
Thank
seeing you
you.
on the next one.
Absolutely.
Take
Thank
care.
you. It's around 2 p.m. and I'll be able to, join you there. Okay?
Hi,
Yes?
we're about to begin. How are you?
Okay, sure. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very well, very good. How are you feeling today, Nikhil?
Absolutely elated, I would say. I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking. What about you?
Doing good, doing good. Who is Nikhil?
Okay, so I'm a mortgage advisor in the UAE. I've been in the UAE for 15 years and I'm in the real estate market for 8 years now. And life is beautiful here in the UAE.
Do you think that you like your job?
I love my job. Why? Because it gives me an opportunity to meet up with a lot of clients, meet up with a lot of people. I love helping all my clients, all my investors to ensure that they take the right decision by getting the right bank mortgages and the best bank rates.
If you were not in Dubai, where would you be living?
I believe I would be living in Canada because I like cold countries.
Do you like cars?
I love cars, yes.
Mercedes or BMW?
Mercedes.
You play sports?
Yes, of course. My favorite sport is cricket, and after that is volleyball.
Cristiano or Ronaldo?
Hey? Cristiano or Messi? Yeah.
Cristiano or Messi?
Cristiano.
Favorite food?
Butter chicken with naan.
What do you do on your weekends?
I mostly try to catch up with all my friends and go out for some food and beverage.
What's the biggest secret people don't know about you that's really, really interesting?
That I'm married.
Oh, amazing. All right, thanks. I think this will be good.
Yeah?
We'll just chat it up. All right.
Super. Okay. Thank you very much for having me.